Hey everybody, Joseph Saracey here. I'm the co-author of How to Tell Stories to Children. And I want to give you a quick idea of a way to plant a story in your home, in a physical place. Okay, you might see this castle behind me. You probably have a little playhouse or maybe a fort or something that your own children have made, or maybe it's a toy that your parents gave your kids for a birthday or something like that. Something that is recognizable. This is a method I call the storytelling loop. We start with something real, like the castle, and we're going to tell a little story. We're going to kind of plant it inside very purposefully. And at the end of the story, we have a new relationship, a new something, an interest that draws us to that very real thing that's right behind me. So this story is brief. I was asleep one night and I heard a sound coming from downstairs. And at first, I was just sleeping there and I thought it was a little knocking, something in my dream, but I woke up and it was clear, it was distinct, and I could tell it was coming from downstairs. What was that? So I slowly crept down the stairs. And as I did, I looked. It was a really dark night, really dark, moonless night. There was no lights on at all. And I looked across the living room to the kitchen table, and there was a little tiny candle flickering in the window of the castle. Now I thought to myself, how could there be a candle in there? It doesn't really make any sense. But it was nighttime and I was curious, so I slowly walked toward the castle. But as I did, bonk, I hit my foot on the edge of the couch, and as soon as I did, the candle went out. And I stood there in the kitchen for a minute, wondering if what I had seen was real. But I was sleepy and I was tired, and it was dark now, so I decided to climb back up the steps, and so I did. But I got nearly to the top, and guess what I heard? I heard that sound again. And that got me curious again, so I walked back down the stairs. And as I did, I looked over across the kitchen table, and now this time I didn't just see one candle in the window. I saw many candles, and they were flickering just barely, so slowly, in that nighttime air. And actually, some of the windows were lit up with this beautiful translucent green, and some of them were a little bit pink. Many of them had this beautiful gold. Some of them were red. Some of them were purple. Some had this wonderful, incredible silvery light. So I walked as slow as I could, and I tried to avoid that couch this time. And I walked up to try to peer inside to see what was going on inside. But I got near the table and I bonked it again. The candles went out. I looked as close as I could, but it was so dark now I couldn't see anymore. And I stood there for a long time. I even walked back up the stairs and stood there for a long time listening for that. What was the knocking? What were the knocking? But I never heard it again. And I looked across the window, but or across the table. I never saw the lights come back on again. And eventually I decided that I needed to sleep. So I went back upstairs and I went to sleep. But I made a little memory in the back of my mind. I said, I wonder, I'm going to look again. I wonder if another night I'll see the candle and the lights flickering in the window of that castle. Now I invite you, just think, if you told a story like this to your child, particularly young children, the excitement, the interest, the curiosity that's going to bring up, even though they might doubt it too, of course they're going to doubt it. But they can bring this into their play. All of a sudden there's something alive here. There's a curiosity. It's a short story. There's a million other ways we could tell different stories, different objects, different things. But we're inviting a child into their own imaginary play in the very objects that they see and encounter every day. That's the storytelling loop. Um, it can be a simple short story like that. I encourage you to try it at home with whatever little homes or houses or things you have.